right, we're back because we got some stuff coming up here soon, guys. But this bot's bank heist is so sick compared to regular bank heist. There's like super RP. So for those who are maybe watching the VOD, you're not in chat, you can't see it. Normally the bank heist just goes off and it's one line of text. But this is like breaking news: robbery in progress. Alarms have sounded. Shots have been fired. Police dogs are on the scene. Like waits. It's like flashbang goes off. The SWAT team has secured the bank. Early reports say there are smoke's clearing. Here's what we can confirm. The criminal BaseTradeTV has been confirmed to be in custody. They're being treated for puncture wounds acquired after being subdued by police dogs. Tom KD reaches into the mystery bag and finds themselves. Understanding yourself is the secret to life. Gain 200 XP. I'm curious though, the bot is whispering me all these things, but it's putting it in chat for Tom. Anyways, we have games coming up in a moment, but yeah, that's really cool. There's like questing, there's single player mode, there's like this arena thing. But most importantly, I just changed the currency, okay? So before we had Partoufs, right? I feel like the only appropriate thing to do, because Partouf, for those who are unaware, was our head mod back in the day. Now our head mod is Mr. Boris Makarov. So I've changed the currency name to Makarovs. I don't know if that'll stick or not, but I like the idea that like we could do like you know, you got the Partouf coins, like the real P coins for like when you're here for a year. We have Makarovs, like it would be like an M coin for like 2 years or something. I don't know. We're just having fun with it for now. Uh-oh. The battle's about to begin. Oh, the grand arena, guys. The battle's about to begin. No more may enter the fight for glory. Warriors, draw your weapons! This is cool. I like this. This bot's got like a lot of RP built into it. I'm okay with that. Anyways, we're hopping into the first semifinals now. It's going to be Ascension to Ire. It's INnoVation versus... who won, actually? soO. INnoVation and soO. Oh, INnoVation, soO. Let me go tweet about this, actually. This is going to be super hella dope. Versus soon? Thanks, autocorrect. INnoVation versus soO. Yo, oh, man. If it's soO versus Gumiho in those finals, because Gumiho's stats on the other. Can we talk about the GSL fucking final qual? We got INnoVation versus soO and Gumiho versus stats. Talk about the sickest semifinals, guys. And you have to have it ruined by a Rifkin solo cast? No, fuck that. You get to enjoy it with a Rifkin solo cast, because this is gonna be super dope. Uh-oh. There's 8 people still in bloody combat. In disgust and pity, the spectators tossed a few Makarovs onto the battered bodies of the 4 newly vanquished gladiators. Pride alum, Zeros, Nexikuro, Tom KD take their turn. Oh no, I'm dead! Oh, those are the 4 that are still fighting. This is cool. Okay, it's dumb, it's nerdy, it's RP, what the fuck ever. I like it though. But yeah, so the cool thing is like, you see Tom reaching into the mystery bag and getting like XP and stuff. Like, so if you guys, what's neat is if you donate money to the channel, like, you get a bunch of perks, but you also give other perks. So if anyone was here and present when Tom donated the $10 earlier, you also got a mystery bag and some other stuff. And if you go to the GatherBot site, you can open it and get XP or loot. Now, most of the time, the loot's going to be pretty dumb and bad, but you can actually, it's like World of Warcraft scaling, so there's like gray junk items, there's like green okay items, blue sort of rare items, purple epic, and like straight up orange legendary items you can get. Some of them will open up new commands to you, like if you get some scepter of something, I can't remember what it's called, you gain access to the exclamation mark, like bless command, and you can bless other users. Some will give stats, so like when you coin flip, aka kind of gamble in chat, maybe you have a higher chance to win if you've got more luck. I think when you coin flip, it's like you are basically coin flipping for 25% of your total currency or something like that, so you can win it or lose it. This bot has a lot of really cool options, which I think it's like a step up from the bot we're using right now. Which, I don't know. Again, we're still learning, but oh shit, the proud alum, he's decapitated by Nexikuro. Tom KD, boss, let's get a shout out. Tom KD is run through from behind by Zeros 12. The final stretch of the grand. Oh, here, let's go to the in-game screen since we're almost ready to go. The final stretch of the Grand Arena battle is here. Nexikuro, Zeros 12 are alive. Everyone else has been killed. A small pittance of 20 Makarovs Oh, is this? Stop scrolling. A small pittance of 20 Macrops has been paid out to the families of the Proud alum and Tom KD. Rest in peace, brothers. This is cool. I like this. So who's gonna win though? Are there any games going on, or are we stuck watching Rifkin blabber on? I don't know, dude. You tell me. Use your fucking eyeballs. Uh-oh. In glorious final battle, Zeros 12 defeated Nexikuro with a blow from their trusty axe. All hail the victor, Zeros 12! Zeros gets 2,000 XP. That's not bad. And a trophy. Covered in your enemy's blood, you've pulled out an arena trophy as a prize for your efforts. Oh, that's sick. You gotta go to the website and open that shit up. You get like boxes and treasure chests too, and I can actually put stuff in the treasure chest. I didn't for this because I was testing it. It's the first time we ever used it, right? But yo, this is so sick. I almost want to like just cast chat battles. But anyways, forget about chat for now, guys. Well, not forget about chat. I know you guys are there. We love you. We're getting into game number 1 of the first semifinals. This is, if you're watching as of 5:55, well, stream delay, so like 5:58 a.m. on the West Coast on June 20th, then this is live. All other times won't matter anyways, because you're here for some really good games. In the top left, we have the blue Terran, none other than INnoVation. With his opponent at the bottom right, he is one hell of a Zerg player. He's in the GSL Finals. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for soO. Now, of course, this is worth noting, on the other side of the bracket, we will be casting both of these best-of-3 semifinals for this weekly cup, is Gumiho and Stats. I don't know what the chances are of them getting to those finals is, but man, if soO and Gumiho fight off in the finals of this week's Olimoleague, there's problems and good things. The cool thing is, like, yeah, it's a little bit of a hype preview for what is on the way for GSL. But on that same note, that also means they might not be willing to play against each other in full capacity, each restraining themselves to certain builds and not going at it full bore. So, not to reveal anything that would give themselves away in a much bigger tournament like the GSL Finals. However, the quality of Gumiho and soO, INnoVation and Stats, and all these other players is one of the awesome parts about the Olimoleague. Like, we are spoiled watching these weekly. So while those who watch GSL and tune in once in a while, like, okay, you get a couple of great matches over there rather frequently, we frequently get great matches over here too. It's really awesome to be a StarCraft fan right now because of just how much more access we have to these players. You would never have seen this like a year ago. But anyways, despite the bracket hype, I'm curious to see how soO will handle INnoVation, because this does go a little bit back to what I just mentioned. Not that I think he's too worried about Gumiho knowing how he plays, but if soO has like a couple of special builds up his sleeve, which he tends to do, he got catsified is the best way I'll describe that. So he's got a couple of special builds in his pocket for sure, and I don't know if he'll bust any of those out versus INnoVation, when he'd much rather save those for Gumiho, right? But ooh, he actually gets those links snuck across the map real nice. INnoVation will stop them from killing the SCV. Maybe? Oh, barely. But there was a really large degree of dancing and micro there. That still stalls out the command center for a pretty long time, which kind of sucks. And Nexikuro also threw in some bits to heal himself. Yo, so that's kind of cool. I'm curious, because the bot starts me off maxed out. I can't see anything. You guys who just fought in the arena battle on the GatherBot page, and if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you can type !GatherBot in chat. I'm curious how much did you get, like a lot of levels off of that? Was that just like a little bit of XP? Like, I know it was a random event, but I don't actually know how much that contributes. Like, do we have to do a lot of those? Little of those? Maybe we'll do another one if we get some more downtime, but we shouldn't. It should be pretty smooth sailing because, again, it's both semifinals into the finals. But some nice creep spread. Now, of course, we saw this map a little bit earlier at a Leenock. He had kind of leapfrogged forward to this base, which I still don't fully understand why he chose to do that. He didn't really get harassed, and he wasn't really forced to. It was just a conscious choice on his part. But soO scouting gets denied by that nice early Viking out of INnoVation. I mean, see, the Viking alone is a lot of information, plus the command center.
Successful.
Oh, fun fact, soO uses Abathur. I can't wait till we're like I don't know. We do that thing where we check the announcer voice / vision of like, I don't know, Beyond, and Beyond's like busting out the Nathanias announcer pack. Yo, that'd be sick. Actually, does anybody know? I guess chat. I'll have to look at you in about 3 minutes or so. But is there like translations for the default announcers? Like I know you don't have Nathanias speaking Korean, obviously, but like we hear Abathur in English. Do they hear them in Korean? I know when I watch streams, it's always in English, but I don't know if there's actually an option for it or not. Right? I would imagine not. But I don't know, just see if chat knows what I do, obviously. Helling's going to run in, catch some of the drones, but really, this was a good reaction out of soO, and he had queens already, plus creep spread, so there was no way those Hellings were going to get away with too much. I shouldn't say no way. Sometimes they really do catch their players off guard, but third CC is part of the wall. Sometimes this is risky, because the CC is not a... It's a fickle thing to put into a wall, but it is going to be a nice, chunky part of that wall, so Lings won't be breaking by anytime soon. Hellings continue to harass on the other side of the map, and ooh, another Overlord might go down here. Getting that Viking up to 3 kills now. Yeah, there's an art to pulling drones away from Hellions. You can't just grab them all and run. You kind of have to stagger them. The reality is, like, when you're fighting Hellions, you are going to lose drones. The idea is just about minimizing them so that you get very little drones lost instead of a lot of drones lost. The worst is, like, you'll see a pro. You'll see somebody who's, like, snoot or otherwise, and they'll make that one time where they've done it wrong. It just looks so bad. 12 drones go down, and you're like, oh no. Get Maru and Dark to play on BaseTradeTV? Nah, I don't know about that. We saw Dark a little bit actually earlier in the year. Maru's never really played in online cups, and to be honest, I don't know what the rules are, but generic Green Wing players just generally haven't been allowed to play in things, even when we try and invite them to such. I know Rogue got... I think he got in trouble for the, I want to say, Ting qualifiers, was it? I don't remember. But there's been instances where the Korean teams, especially in the past, but now really there's only Gen Air that's left, they're very strict about having their players play in anything else, which is sometimes a little bit sad. But yo, on that note too, I was really cool. I was asking the Koreans about this. We saw Zest, Lenok, and Keen over the weekend. And this will probably apply to INnoVations too and a lot of these other guys. But I asked them, like, do you play like a lot of League of Legends on the side? Like I know Stardust used to and a bunch of others, Overwatch, whatever. And every single Korean that was in Canada this weekend, at least for our event, not to generalize all Koreans, they said no, and I quote, slave to StarCraft is what they said. I thought it was hilarious. Anyways, we do have a nice surround with these Lings already, but that corner of the wall is pretty good too. If there wasn't a queen shooting the medevacs, INnoVation may have been able to stick around for quite some time. Still might get a cancel on the 4th. soO's got a lot of Lings though, and most importantly, Infestors. Normally you don't see Infestors this early. This is where I started talking about maybe seeing some funky builds. Because this is kind of like, okay, you don't have Banelings. Well, what can you do for area of effect? But maybe a couple Fungals mixed in. Catch some of the medevacs, hold everybody in place, but... yeah, it's interesting. soO streamed earlier. It was Korean on his stream. So there is a Korean ad with her. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Good to know. So I guess like if I change my sound settings, I can hear like Swan speak to me in Korean. Oh, baby. 4 Widow Mines. And honestly, who cares about the Marines? Because it's about 4 Widow Mines that are coming to get dropped here. Drag and drop on top of the mineral line. Yes, there's detection through the Spore Crawler, but it's not about being cheeky. It's about just getting hits. He scans on the left to kind of distract. And oh, man, soO. He does pull from this, but is it too late? Okay. The Widow Mines are not that amazing here. Oh, even friendly fires his own Marines. Feels bad, man. Goes off on Larva. These will get cleaned up. And this drop worked out really badly for INnoVation. And that Fungal was certainly a surprise. He wasn't ready to see. He drops a couple Marines to soak some of the Banelings. Medevac goes down, and this is where I think it's getting interesting. We have a Thor coming out. I want to say, like, in a normal, very standard Terran versus Zerg build, it's totally viable to mix a Thor or 2 in there. Mostly for the anti-Mutalisks. But it's not Mutas. It's it's not Mutas at all. But what's interesting with this Thor coming, and this is why I think INnoVation specifically is doing this, is it's not weapon upgrades. It's armor upgrades coming out for mech right now. This is going to help the medevacs and the Widow Mines, obviously. Anything in the sky through Vikings or Liberators. But That's also going to help the Thor, which recently got a passive armor buff. So, Lings should ideally not be doing too much damage at all. Maybe can hide behind Thors like a giant wall in the front line. Yeah, I'll find out. Uh-oh. Medivacs are getting caught. One of them's really low. Good focus fire out of soO. I love this guy's reaction time. It is actually so awesome to see. But Widowmines will not be preparing for that landing. Another drop of Widowmines heading to the mineral line. soO is all over the place, though. Is he looking here? Just in the nick of time, but these Widowmines got some reach. They get about 9 drones. Still sitting on about 70, 68. It's a good count, though, so I'm not too worried for soO after that. INnoVation really hasn't been able to do too much damage this game, all things considered. I really want to know about the impact on this Thor, though. I guess, granted, there's still drops going on. I should be focusing on this. Losing Chitinous Plating is going to be huge. That is the difference of the Ultras being made, being a good investment versus a decent investment. But yeah, let's see. What is Circlings going to be hitting for, right? +2 weapons, 7 damage. Thor's going to have 4 armor. Damn, even with Adrenal Glands, that's going to suck. Corruptor's a little bit odd to see, but we still have Widowmines dropping left and right, walking on in too. I mean, I guess INnoVation is not exactly crippling soO here, but he's not walking away without getting some damage in return. The biggest one recently, of course, was that Ultralisk Cavern getting picked off. That delays his push. soO knows he can't really run forward without Chitinous Plating, so he's going to have to wait about a minute or so before he has that back. Corruptors are doing a great job policing the Medivac, by the way. Medivacs, excuse me. Okay, I'm not sure what that was. The dirt bath. soO's really just on the ball with everything. I think at this point, though, I don't like these 11 drones coming out. This is, unless he's intentionally going to make some static defense with them, like, I don't know, 82 drones? That's some confidence when you already have a bank of this size. Meanwhile, back at home for INnoVation, so I haven't paid a lot of attention to soO, because soO's been doing a lot of cool things and a lot of great reactions. INnoVation's been bulking up ghosts behind this. He's getting personal cloaking. He is that Thor on the front line, which, again, I think is really weird, but kind of cool to see. And, uh-oh. Nexi Crow found out how to use the boss powers, guys. Widowmine's going off, but they're not getting much. Didn't even trade out for the Lings. That kind of sucks. But BitBoss, Nexi Crow has taxed every user 5 Makarovs for breathing the air in BaseTradeTV's channel. So this... Oh, that Widowmine shot was glorious. I didn't get to click it in time. That was like 15 Lings or something. But yeah, now there's like all the more reason to kill the BitBoss, because he can do evil things like this and steal your Makarovs, guys. And if you are the BitBoss, you'll gain these powers too. Ghost Trap really sucks to lose this. He needs the snipes for the Ultralisks, because Chitinous Plating is done. +3 armor's on the way, and his Marines will not chew through that armor. But there's a heck of a lot of ghosts for INnoVation. He's sitting on 11 right now. Oh, that Medivac had more Widowmines. You know, INnoVation has been playing, I'm going to call this the payload style of Terran. Like, he's just been constantly bringing these Medivacs full of Widowmines, volatility. In fact, how many have died so far, right? Like 10 Medivacs, 26 Widowmines. He's been very consistently trying to get these just to do as much damage as he can. He does have the fast drilling claws too, so he can get to the burrow almost instantly. I mean, I really love a lot of what INnoVation's doing. But this has been such a weirdly passive game outside of this, right? Like, look at the resources lost for where we're at. We're 15 minutes in. Both players have had half the map under their control. Banks and tier 3 units alike. And only like 9,000 minerals lost between the two of them. Most of it's been through harass, of course. You know, what INnoVation has been losing through his own drops and what he's been able to kill with them. That's where most of the damage done this game has been. Well, cleaning up creep. It's a slow but earnest living. Something he needs to do as well. The Ghost Cloak, but there are Overseers aplenty. Liberators set up in a drag line. I like this a lot, but the Banelings might just still be a little much. Rolling on in. Thor should probably just hold position and block if it can, but it's not going to. There we go. Distracted with the Thor. This gives the Ghost the options to shoot. I mean, a big part of why this wasn't going off earlier, for those who don't play Terran enough to know, like, your snipes get interrupted if you take any damage. So a Ling Swipe, an Ultra Splash, fungal growth like this, you can't snipe. Banelings roll in and the Ghosts go down. But at the same time, soO lost his momentum. He doesn't have a lot of ground units. There's no Ling support flooding in. Most of the Ultras are dead. So much of this hinges on the fact that A, he's got a lot of his army investment tied up the supply through those Corruptors, but then B, his drone count is really high. This goes back to why I said I kind of didn't like that, right? He's sitting on 95 drones. He's still building more drones with 95 drones. This is like, at most, soO can make 105 army supply, right? 104 army supply, excuse me. And when you consider like 20% of that's like in Corruptors, another probably 20% in Queens, realistically, soO's fighting with like a handful of Banelings and an Ultralisk at any given time. Why are there drones with this? Okay, that's definitely a mistake. He sends them back. I thought like building static defense out here would be cool. Spine Crawler, Spore Crawler, you name it. Detection for the Ghosts, right? But Lings flood on in. Ghosts try and get their snipes off, but it's not about the Ultras so much as it is the Banelings and the Fungals. It's a planetary, though, so she should hold until the Corruptors get the chance to start just, well, pissing on it, frankly. Ghosts get the last couple of snipes, but the Ultras have already done the damage. Most of the army was taken out. But again, it's a planetary fortress, and INnoVation's going to hold. I love the missile turrets coming down. This is a great way to keep the Corruptors back, you would think hypothetically. But realistically, this is better for detection than anything else. The burrowed infestors constantly getting these fungal chains off have been hurting him so badly. Corruptors don't care about missile turrets, guys. Corruptors come naturally armored just like Thors do, but they also have an upgrade in them. So they can sit above missile turrets for quite some time. They're not going to be taking much damage at all. Bottom left had a Ling blocking it out. Kind of annoying. So planetary is going to be delayed. More Banelings on the way. At some point, like, soO is playing, how to phrase this, like Zagara in co-op. Like, he has a really low army cap. Oh no, that fungal was good. But I was going to say, he's making it work really well with what he has. INnoVation's not looking too shabby either. In fact, I would scold INnoVation even more than soO at this point about their worker count, right? Like, 70 SCVs is nice, but you've got mules at this stage. You don't really need that many workers, and more army supply might be the difference of him dominating these fights or not. A couple extra Liberator shots, an extra snipe, you name it. But turrets aren't doing much to stop the Corruptors. However, the Liberators are doing a lot to stop the Ultras. He spam repairs the planetary. She's going to live. This ends up being so costly for soO. I almost want to say it's not worth it, but he's got a really sizable bank. I see Tom and some other people are still messing around with the bot. Again, today's like test day, so make sure you go to !GatherBot in chat to get a link, guys. But there's a lot of cool stuff you could do there, and not just the mini games. There's loot, there's stats. Get your fill. And if anyone's feeling really generous and wants to donate through it, there's also prizes and extra benefits you get there. One of the cool ones is the fact that if you do donate, everybody in the channel gets some benefit. Everybody gets a mystery bag or two. But thank you to HotDrink33 for that Twitch Prime sub. We still got a lot of action going on there, though. That was the breathing period. That was the, okay, I'm remaking my units period for both sides of this, because they did wipe each other out. But interestingly enough, no one's really killed bases. Like, INnoVation's drops have done so little this game. I love the static defense out of soO. There's been no hatcheries getting sniped on the back end of all this army. And at the same time, soO can't break these planetaries. Not yet, at least. What's so interesting about this, too, is you got to consider, because they're both playing on fairly low army supply, soO obviously a little bit more restricted by his 98 drones, I thought there may have been some back-end base trading going on, right? Like, you know that soO's whole army will be on the front line. He can't afford to leave anything at home. He just doesn't have the army supply to actually budget leaving an Ultralisk on defense, right? So that's where I thought drops would be super phenomenal out of INnoVation, but it is worth noting, by the way, he has sort of started to swap out of Ghosts. I don't think he's going to give up Ghost production entirely, but we are starting to see a lot more investment in Marauders, and I like this a lot, if for no other reason, not kiting the Ultras, but dealing with those damn Banelings. Caustic Spray, though, out of this many Corruptors could annihilate any building it gets on top of, but this is that problem. Again, INnoVation is fighting against a very small army supply, so he wins the Ultralisk fight fairly easily. He can snipe down the Corruptors with the Marines and the actual literal snipes. I mean, he lost the base for it, but 10 Corruptors is a bit much when your army supply is so limited. And soO, again, 99 drones. 99 drones. He's actually supply blocked. He lost an Overlord / Overseer. It's kind of funny to see. Despite being down in supply, I'm still liking INnoVation's position. soO's got a crazy great bank, but that's all in minerals, not in gas. And my concern is as time goes on, like, he could remake 1,000 Zerglings. They're not going to beat this bio that has support. However, Banelings will. Rolling on in. We got Infestor on the backside, too, looking for a sick fungal. Brood Infestor's on that front line, too. Forget what I said about INnoVation, guys. It may have spoken a little preemptively as he's driven back once again. Same retreat path, same time to run back to. Not a planetary this time, but just simply an orbital. Medevac's going down as well. I mean, these fungals are even more devastating. And while there's only like a small handful of Ultralisks, he can't fight them. Ghosts are striking so hard. 13 damage a shot against Ultras that have 7 armor still is not much damage at all. It's all about the actual snipes when he can afford it. But GG gets called, and soO takes what was a crazy long game number 1. That was a good game, though, that's for sure. We're going to go to a small break, though, guys, as my voice is parched. My throat, I need water is what I'm saying. My brain's dead, too. We'll see you soon. 2 minutes. All right, we're back and getting into game number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuning into the semifinals of this week's Olimoleague, and that was an absolutely great game 1. A lot of people talking about the drone count in chat. A lot of people paying respect to the micro, and that's what I like to see. Yeah, I actually was surprised there wasn't a lot of balance winding there. But I thought a lot of cool things were executed in that game, and I guess I'll get a little more into that after these intros, because spawning the top left, down 1 game and on his last life, it is INnoVation. Camera bug, awesome. Bottom right, fix the camera bug in a second. It's going to be the Red Zerg soO. Going for pretty quick gas and pool. So this might be a little bit of payback for making him play such a damn long game, but that was like the ultimate macro game out of soO, and that was so cool to watch happen. Sitting on 100 drones, I really thought was going to hurt him. I thought at one of these points, like if INnoVation takes enough defensive fights around his planetary, he'll be left over with enough ghosts and marines to counter push and then shut soO down. But at the same time, I guess this kind of reminds me of like why I love watching players like Snoot and others, where if you get that ball rolling with Zerg, you get that macro underway, you might just be unstoppable in a lot of situations. But one thing is actually kind of interesting is this pool might not be as cheesy as it looks. I mean, it's going to certainly be links coming across the map, get some damage done, faster speed, yada, yada, yada. However, INnoVation is very much one of the Terrans who's willing to throw down a quick 3 racks. Abyssal Reef's not a bad map for it either, and just having this speed done sooner means you can deal with it even better. So, soO, not doing anything so insane here. Like, this wasn't like, you know, oh, he's going to pull all in like Jake No Regret style. It does afford him the opportunity to, if he'd like to, combined with the fact that he will then be able to thwart what is possibly INnoVation's attack. But of course that's a lot of guesswork because INnoVation's not going for that attack. Timing has passed for it, and that's a big part of why soO didn't hold down the Zergling button. Instead kept making those lings, or excuse me, kept making those drones. That's my brain once again tapping out after a long weekend of casting. Good times. Stats and Gumio sit on deck for after this game, so you guys have got that best of 3 to look forward to, and then of course the winners of both of these matches head into the best of 5. But man, I really don't like this XSplit update. Sorry, just as a side note, I'm noticing a lot of sort of jaggedness as I scroll here. It doesn't look so smooth. Maybe it's smooth on stream, but it doesn't look so smooth in the preview window. I don't like it. Of course, they do also have to screen region. So, does this show up if I hold Alt-Tab like this? No, it doesn't for you guys. But, yeah, it's not able to auto-detect the game for some reason. Some of these mystery bag grabs are hilarious. I'm glad the chat announces like who pulls out what. But yeah, the other cool thing about the bot, this was advertised a little bit earlier, is the folks at Gather, they have things like Steam cards and games and cool giveaways that eventually you can cash in or win through crazy raffles and prizes. So again, like, the Gather bot in chat, totally new. Not at all something we're saying is going to be replacing the Partoof bot anytime soon. But if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I hope it would. Not because I dislike the name Partoof or the bot or anything like that. It is just simply purely and entirely a new, cooler, and more interactive experience. I think it'll be fun for the folks in chat. Because let's be honest, sometimes the games, yeah, you don't care about the TVT, but if you can like pull off some bank highs, do a couple other things, keep yourself entertained while we get to the TVP. That's how I look at it, at least. Anyways, soO, I'm not sure if he's gonna want to hit those strides again. The macro game was great, right? But it was long and probably stressful, and there was so much micro on that game. I couldn't even recap everything here if I tried. But like some of the key highlights were definitely, you know, INnoVation's constant drops being constantly shut down. Also, I didn't catch it during the break, but Lee Oman, thank you for that tier 3 sub coming in for another month, dude. That's awesome. Good stuff to see. Was it 38 months? I had to go scroll up to look at that because the Twitch alerts isn't loading. 38 months. And then Gerlua just now for 6 months. For Rifkin with a heart. Aww. Aww. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. Yeah, going back to the point of micro, right? Like, you're dancing around a Banshee, you're dealing with Widowmine drops. Hell, I love the build cancels that we're seeing, because we don't see enough of those anymore. Like, soO's micro today, I don't know if he's just super warmed up or what the deal is, but he is just nailing it. In fact, I almost want to go back and make like a compilation video through the replay of INnoVation's drops and just watch every time soO shut them down. But speaking of replays, just going to plug that Oli Patreon one more time, guys, because you can get replays from today by being one of the Patreons on the site. You can see all the details, of course, listed over there. And I feel like if you're Terran or Cirque, you want to study that first game. But, double Banshee's poking in, looking for some good kills. They're going to scout the macro hatchery, but those guys got a really late Banley nest. Do they see the infestation pit? Yes, they do. Some good damage, though, with the Banshees so far. Nothing too great as far as, like, snowballing, but keeping soO on his toes and keeping him honest. Creep spread, though, has not really been thwarted, and soO has a lot of it. INnoVation reaching out for the third, and that's interesting. Not exactly the most conventional spot, but this is a base we'll eventually see Terran take anyways. Someone's asking if the arena started. Apparently, there's like a pretty long cooldown on the arena. I can edit that, but I'm not gonna worry about that for now. I'm gonna focus on the game. Maybe we get some downtime, but again, we shouldn't really have much downtime unless Gumio and stats are AFK. Those upgrades for soO humming along nicely, actually really nicely, considering INnoVation's only just finishing up his 1-1. But I think for a small time period, that 1-1's going to outweigh what is eventually going to be 2-1, as soO's armor is fairly late. Yeah, Widowmines go off, great bait. Banley's come in, take out another Widowmine. That last second reaction out of soO to drag that link to the south, minimizing losses. Love to see that sort of stuff. I mean, I don't think there's any player in StarCraft 2 right now who's so good that they'll always precisely micro the exact one laying in the micro split second out, but yeah, that's pretty close. It's pretty freaking close. Okay, shooting the Overlord for a moment. I'm like, is he shooting his own Metabest? Why would you do that? Pushes them back. Well, soO maintains the 4th. No real pressure over here. Not a lot of Widowmines. Oh. Cool. Hey, so Zombie Grub just got home, guys. She's off the flight and hopefully feeling well. She said she might be willing to come tag in. So, after this game, we'll look into getting that sorted and set up. Be nice to have her join. Actually, yo... Okay, I like to tease and make fun of Zombie Grub a lot, right? We're going to give Zombie Grub like a passion pass here for a second. Because we were talking, and she was kind of sad. She's just through travel and responsibilities and like spending time with her mom. She's going to have missed every Olimoleague this month. as we will not be able to cover next week's Olimoleague. Can't really tell you guys why, but you'll find out surely soon enough. And it's for good things, of course. So for her to come cast this one, or want to come cast, I'm sure she's tired. I'm sure she'd love to just kind of chill in her bed, but I know she really wants to actually cast. So hashtag passion. Scanning the main reveals Hive Tech. No confusion about where we're at in the game. You know, soO was also not too worried about keeping all his tech together either. There's actually quite a few Zerg players we've been watching more recently who they spread that tech all over the place, right? Ultras in the main, Spawning Pool in the natural. Well, I guess that wouldn't happen unless the first one got killed. But the point is, you don't cluster it. My fear is that INnoVation, he tried to do a lot of drops last game, and yes, they were shut down by consistent Corruptor use. But this time there's not a lot of Corruptors. There's not a lot of things policing the skies, and that might doom drop the main at some point. But, oh, that cluster of Widow Mines was no good. Bailey's take out the army. And while this is hitting on the right side, soO's also ready to hit on the left. This wall's up. It's not going to be easy to get through, but INnoVation's not going to pay attention at home. Thor investment with the armor upgrades. Okay, so he did this last time. I wasn't sure if that was like specifically for that game, but he is doing it again. It's not just one Thor, it's a little bit more, but they're also getting the vehicle plating as the priority upgrade here, not weapon damage. The Infestor use out of soO's been pretty sick to watch too. Great Funkles catches the army. Huge deal. Widow Mines actually splashed some of the medevacs, and this ends up hurting real bad. He lost the Thor for something he shouldn't have lost either. Bust through the depot wall with a little bit of bailing action too, causing havoc and chaos in the natural. And INnoVation's being torn all over the place because he's also being chased from that frontal attack earlier. Ooh, boy, soO is looking good. You know what? I'm not surprised this guy made it to the GSL finals. I didn't watch any GSL matches this season. I know, I feel bad, guys. But, damn, if you played anything half as good as this throughout the season, I understand. I now understand. SCV's getting stacked left and right. Still sitting on 82 drones back on the other side of the field. These Ultras won't die. There's Transfusers still even more to go into this. INnoVation can't clean this up. Natural base has still got a couple of links, but GG's get called. And soO, ladies and gentlemen, takes that 2-0. Is going to move on to the finals. But now that we have Zombie Grub around, I'm going to see what we can do about getting her set up on the cast. So hopefully she can come join us for Gumiho versus Stats. I guess we'll toss off to commercial break while we get that sorted, though. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you soon.